Morning, everyone. Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another Friday night pint. The season's finished, but we're back again. How you doing, boys?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you?
With a little badge on.
Yes, Scott. Happy birthday, Scott.
It is, yeah. Cheers, boys. Thank you very much.
I said to him off air, he don't look a day over 39, does he?
Nah, well, maybe one day over 39.
He's got a 50-year-old haircut, though.
He's got 60-year-old shoes.
Scott, I didn't get no beer, mate, so I'm having a vodka and lemonade, but the fucking ice has melted. It's like... now I know how they... like.
I got a vodka and Coke.
Fucking yeah! I didn't have time to get any beers, so yeah, I fancy the vodka tonight. It's a vodka Friday.
Well, look, you're very tanned. What's going on here, boys?
Well, I was down the beach yesterday, mate. You know, I was taking advantage of. Huh?
I was down the beach today.
I was taking advantage of our beautiful British weather. I was saying to Scott though that I've gone brown all over, apart from my feet. I've burnt my feet. My feet are burning. You forget about your feet, didn't you?
I'm so proud because I ain't been allowed in the house for about 6 months. That's where I live now, in this corner.
I thought I could smell you.
How's everyone doing in the comments? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hope you've got a drink. Hope you're going to celebrate Scott's birthday in style. Cheers, Scott. Ting, 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 ting.
Yeah, cheers, Scott. Happy 40th, mate. Obviously, we would have been doing something tonight, wouldn't we? But obviously, with lockdown and everything. But don't worry, mate. Give it a couple of weeks. We'll have a nice Saturday session on the piss.
Sounds like a plan, mate. Sounds like a plan.
Hey, not
oh, hang on. Someone's turned up drunk.
we would have been at a friend of ours' wedding celebrating Scott's birthday tonight. The wedding, funny enough, would have been in the Greater Manchester area.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have got there if he'd have decided to go ahead, we would have got there, and then everything would have been locked down. We'd have been celebrating. Ryan said to me earlier, we'd have been celebrating your birthday in the services with Burger King hats on.
We'll have Burger King hats on. I'll have took you in Marks and Spencer's and let you buy any sweets you wanted, mate.
I'd have a sandwich. Real deal.
It's like where obviously the wedding got like postponed and all that. That's what people saying. Oh, you're gonna do, Nate. You're gonna do something. It's like, but you can't. There's not much you can do.
It's difficult, isn't it? Like, because you know, I went to the pub today. I stopped off and had I went like I was out, so I thought I ain't had a proper pint since lockdown.
What's going on?
I popped in, had a pint. They take your name, your address, everything.
Yeah.
It took me 20 minutes to get served. I had to give them my name, my address, my email. She did ask me PIN number, but then I clocked on. I thought, you ain't having that, sweet.
I was working on
and
here he is, hungover Dan.
Evening. I was taking ages to get my bloody webcam and mic to come on. So happy birthday, Scott.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Hang on. Whoa, hang on. Wait, I'm not 40 yet. I think he's getting confused. I'm the right side.
I think maybe he's trying.
Hang on. I think, look, this is me, mate. Look, well done. Under 18, that's the trouble. Cheers, mate.
Graham, he didn't celebrate his 40th because he was there was an air raid that night. He was down the air raid shelter.
Graham was on the Titanic trying to help him out.
He was scooping the water out.
All aboard the vessel. Right, you know what? I never forget. Well, I went to the Titanic exhibition in Vegas, right? And I shouted to my missus, all aboard the vessel. All of a sudden, all these people started following me, all these tourists. They must have thought, British accent, I'm fucking running the Titanic thing.
Did anyone get a present for the post today?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Well, obviously, I've got a few, but yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
I've got the season review 2019-2020.
Yeah.
Nick. Well, don't you fucking like me, Nick? This is the worst fucking season I've ever seen.
I did actually tell Nick to send you the Avram Grant one on Blu-ray.
Double.
I've messaged Nick back, but I don't think he's seen it yet. But cheers, Nick.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, he don't like you, Scott. That's why he thought, fucking, here's your birthday present. Relive this season.
Yeah, go for that. Go for that shite again. So what we got tonight? All right, Dan.
I think it's just like a weekly catch up, innit? I see the news today about obviously David Moyes wants to fight to keep Declan Rice, which is obviously good. I mean, I'm hearing good things from the Declan Rice camp that he's happy at West Ham. He wants to stay.
I'll tell you what. Dan's cousin, I don't know whether he still is or what, but was a reporter for the Mirror, right? And I'd have had a banging headline for today. I'd have been the best headline that anyone's ever seen ever in sports when I see that. Now, Scott, you're going to appreciate this. Maybe Dan will. You got a fight to stop Rice departing.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Give this man a job in the tabloids. Give this man a job in the tabloids.
If that weren't an award-winning headline in the sports award at the end, I'd have quit.
I had it with a Chelsea fan the other day. He was telling me that. I said, you've got more chance of getting Uncle Ben's than Declan Rice. But I'm hoping that don't come back to bite me. But apparently Man United are linked with him as well now. But you're going to get that. But no, I've just got a feeling that Declan Rice is going to stay at West Ham, at least for another 1 or 2 seasons, at least.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I said you see him when the Diangana year video that got put out, things like that. He's happy. He's happy playing. He's happy playing at the club. I think he's the type of person that knows the club have given him his chance to step into, they've put him into the first team. Chelsea booted him out, said he weren't good enough. West Ham took him on, and he's proved Chelsea wrong. And I just think that he'll stick with us for a little while longer. And
yeah, I like Moyes' thinking as well. That he wants to bring in young talent. One thing, I mean, I know ex-employee come out today and said there's no truth in it, but there was a lot of rumours last night that we were linked with John Stones from Man City. And you know what? I couldn't believe that I actually see West Ham fans saying no to John Stones. And I'm thinking to myself, come on. He's definitely an upgrade. He's definitely an upgrade. And him and Ogbonna, him and Diop would be unbelievable together. That's the sort of level we've got to be looking at now. Looking for players like John Stones and that. And he obviously got
wrong with him in Man City. I don't know why they're trying to get rid of him.
I think they've agreed a deal to sign Aki from Bournemouth, think they? So
yeah,
I think they want to ship him out. But how can you sit there and turn your nose up at John Stones when you're a West Ham fan? It amazed me, and that's what I think sometimes that's the downside to social media.
I think Stones, he's a decent defender. Yeah, all right. We know he's got the odd mistake in him. It ain't working out for him at City, the way City play and things like that. I think he's a good defender. As I said, I think he can be. I just think City's not the right fit for him.
What do you mean? What? Stones is not a creative player. What do you mean he's not a creative player? He's a fucking central defender. What do you want him to do?
Nah, we need more defenders.
He might create
more chances and score goals.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
He might create a bit of chaos at the back sometimes, but that's what we love at West Ham, don't we?
We need a Dimitri Payet at the back.
Oh, yeah. I've got to log off for a minute, boys. It's raining. I've got to go in. I've got to beg.
Go to bang on the door. Let me in.
But I can't see us getting in.
And all I can see is your shadow.
What's that?
Wait, Dan, look at the screen.
The screen?
All I can see Nicky down the bottom of the screen running. I can see Dan's shadow. Oh, happy birthday, Scott.
But you can't see me. Oh shit! I'm looking at myself on the on my little screen there. I was like,
all I could see was his shadow.
We
can see Nicky at the bottom of the screen. Look, he's smiling and running. What's he got in his mouth? He's doing magic tricks.
You can see Nick there. Look.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Well, this is a great start to Friday Night Pint. Happy birthday, Scott.
But
everyone that has wished me happy birthday in the chat, Facebook, Twitter, thank you very much.
The big 4-0, I can't believe it.
I know, mate. It's
if it's a compliment, Scott, you don't look 40, mate.
Cheers, mate.
All right, he's back. I tell you what, another story obviously that came out, the news that Ngakia is looking to sign for Watford, and it's mad. It's madness. Watford, yeah, he's set to sign for Watford.
I thought it was West Brom.
No, Watford, yeah, it's looking like he's signing for Watford, and I just don't get it. It's so bizarre. Apparently, we offered him like more money and automatic raises and all sorts of perks. There's got to be some reason why he just did not want to stay at this club. There's got to be something that's going on, because that don't make no sense.
He got tapped up, and he got tapped up before the lockdown and stuff like that.
Tapped up for Watford, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would he not want to be the first choice right back at West Ham?
Didn't they signed our other youngster, didn't they? Domingos
Quina, yeah.
So I don't know. That's a weird one, because I know he was linked with West Brom, and I thought to myself, okay, I can sort of see that. West Brom getting promoted, he'll probably be given first team football there, guaranteed. But to go to Watford that have just been relegated, unless they're chucking stupid money at him, I don't see that. I don't see why.
And it's such a tumultuous club, with the stuff with the managers and all of that. Like, I can't see them really coming straight back up next season.
No, I'll be honest. I think Watford are dead and buried. They're going to stay in the Championship for a long time now.
It depends who they bring in, really, innit? It's they might get they might, how we went for a Sam Allardyce, to bring us back up. They might get, because Watford are an attractive club, isn't they? They've just come down. They've got a little bit of money to spend.
Yeah, I don't think they've got the players to come back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends who they let go, they bring in. I mean, their big name players are going to leave. I could see maybe Troy Deeney staying a bit loyal to them though and staying with them for one season. I don't think he'll have many offers from the Premier League. If anything, he looks like a sort of player that go to like a Burnley or a Crystal Palace.
Yeah. The thing is, I can't see.
I'm saying that you watch when he's our fucking record signing.
That's the worry. To be fair, he's got dodgy knee now.
Oh, he's perfect for West Ham then, Scott.
Well, that's it, But I think he'll stick. I think he'll stick with them. He's been the captain for a while now. He seems like quite happy now.
He's not getting any younger, really. So I don't know.
You know what? He's only 32. I thought he was older than that.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. Like, he ain't got. If he has got the chance to go to the Premier League, he should do it, because he ain't got many years left. Playing at that level.
The interview after the game where the bloke said to him, "Oh, do you think it'd be your last game for Watford, or your last game ever, or something like that?" And he swore live on air.
Yeah, he said, "I'm not that old, cheeky bastard."
Yeah, he called him a cheeky bastard, didn't he? But yes, Lewis Wright's just mentioned it as well. We've been linked with Callum Wilson, 20 million. We've been linked with loads of players this week. There's so many that we could sit here and go through, but I think we've linked with about 10 defenders. It's crazy. It's going to be a crazy transfer window, I think, with obviously rumours and everything. But I see West Ham put a tweet out yesterday saying back the manager for manager of the month, and I tweeted them back saying make sure just as well as you back him in the transfer window.
Yeah. Don't tell us to back the manager. You back the manager.
Yeah, exactly. So. I mean, fair play to David Moyes, and obviously Antonio as well, up for Player of the Month. I think he's in contention to win that. If I'm honest. David Moyes, I don't think will win it, but it just shows what a good month we had. When I can't remember the last time we had a manager and a Player of the Month both in the same. I think Sacco was the last player to win Player of the Month for us, and I can't believe during that Bolin season, none of our players, including Payet, didn't ever get Player of the Month.
That's mental.
That was crazy.
Big club bias.
That is it. The thing is, as well, when you look back at the football, it's like since the lockdown, there's been no, what I would say, standout players that I can think of offhand, other than Antonio, that sort of dragged the team sort of forward. Do you know what I mean?
Probably Bruno Fernandes might be up there. He had a good month, didn't he, for United? Aubameyang done well for Arsenal, but yeah, I think Antonio should be nailed on to that.
Sterling done well. He had a good month.
But were they good months, or were they just months where the players that you expect to step up sort of showed? Do you know what I mean? Did they play beyond what you expected of them? Antonio, for me, playing out of position, played beyond what he was.
He plays for City, but Sterling scored as many goals as Antonio. He was playing well, really well. Yeah. Nearly as many goals. I think Antonio picked him last day, but
Top scorer.
Who was the last player to get Player of the Month for West Ham?
Sacco, I think.
Sacco, yeah.
Sacco, under Big Sam. I think Big Sam got Manager of the Month as well, the same time.
It's a dreaded curse, isn't it? That for us, our managers. Whenever we seem to get a manager, gets Manager of the Month, we've gone a bit of a downward spiral. So I'd rather Moyes not win it.
What do you think?
Well, the thing is, right? It is. We ain't got no football, so if he wins it, we can't lose next week.
Yeah, we can lose the whole of next season.
Yeah, we'll be relegated in November.
What was I going to say? Go on.
No, I was going to say, did you see the story about apparently Kouyate wanted to come back to West Ham and David Moyes apparently?
Yeah, do you know what it is? Probably when they fucking leave West Ham, they decide they start to realise they have to fucking work for their money.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
No, I think apparently David Moyes likes him anyway and wanted him back.
I think if you'd have said that to me in beginning of January, I'd have probably said, yeah, I'll take him back. But once we got Souček, I don't see why we'd need him back.
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't take him back anyway. I don't think he's good enough.
He's one of Palace's best players.
He's not one of Palace's best players.
He is. You ask a Palace fan, they rate him very highly. He starts every week,
every day.
We had the best out of him.
You speak to Palace fans every day.
Scott does. He works with them.
Well, the Palace fans I speak to, they love Kouyate.
I'm telling you now, right? We had the best years out of him. He's a bang average player now, and
but I'm just talking as a squad player, like
But why? There's other talent out there that we should be going to get that will deserve the wages more than he does. He didn't want to play with us. He wanted to leave. He wanted to leave and go and play for Palace.
I'd always listen. I always respect him, and when he comes back to London Stadium, I'll give him a clap. If I'm going to Selhurst Park, I'll give him a clap. He never left on bad terms.
No, exactly.
I just wouldn't want to see him back at West Ham. I think Souček's the way forward, and I think they're too similar.
Yeah, for me, it's a step backward signing.
If you want to progress in these leagues, mate, you've got to sign players that are good enough to fight for a team in the first place. We've been down that road before, signing backups. That's why we're fucking first season when we moved into the London Stadium. We ended up on our arse again because we
still have squad depth. If you get someone who's nearly almost as good as Souček, they're not going to want to stay. Right? They're going to want to stay on the bench.
Dan, the thing is, you should be looking at it, right? You want to improve the squad. You need to look at every individual player, and if you're going to sign a player to play in their position, the players either got to be better or just as good as you play you've got. Tell me a midfielder that Kouyate is step in front of.
That's what you want at West Ham next season. You want a bench that are challenging the first team, that are good enough to be in the starting 11. Every player should have competition, even a goalkeeper. I don't think Randolph's good enough to challenge Fabianski. I really don't. I think he was just brought in because Roberto was out on loan. He's crap, and David Martin, look, bless him, he had a great moment at Stamford Bridge, but he's not a backup goalkeeper. For me,
I don't think we get that at West Ham. Have a player in each position that is good enough to challenge the person.
I'm not saying each position, but
or even most or whatever. Because
but every team, every bench. You look at the bench we've had towards the end of the season. That is strong enough. Them players there you could put into our starting 11 if they was fully fit. That's what you need. You need competition. You need players that are going to turn up, like sort of. Let's have a look. Say. Yarmolenko, right? When he was in the first team, I thought he got a little bit lazy. Then he got injured and he was out. Bowen come in, and Yarmolenko's had to fight tooth and nail to try to get back in that first team. And that's what he does. But that ups Bowen's game.
Get back in it, did he? He didn't even get back into it because the only time he got back into it was when he was coming on as a sub and things like that. He never really challenged Bowen, was it? Bowen was always comfortable, I felt, in his position. I don't think we've got anyone at the moment. Maybe
Anderson was comfortable in his position until he come in and you had players like Fornells, Yarmolenko, Bowen, challenging him for that position. Antonio when he come back, because Antonio was a winger when he come back, but it's only that Moyes put him up front. So that's what you need. You need a bit of competition. I'm not saying we've got to have world-class players challenging, because that's not going to happen at West Ham, but you need similar sort of players, or if not better, to challenge. And that always ups everyone's game in the first team, because they know they're only one bad game away from being on the bench. And that's what we need. Too many players have cruised it at West Ham for so many seasons where they just know they're going to turn up on a Saturday and they're on the first team sheet. And that's what you don't need. Every club, well, I'm not really bothered about every club, but West Ham need that sort of competition. And that's what David Moyes is aiming to do. And this is why I know we're linked with a lot of the Brentford players, but obviously they're in the playoff final now against Fulham. So if they come up, I think you can sort of forget about trying to sign any of their superstars, because they're going to want to keep them.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
and promoted teams, mate, they always sort of they're big stars. They always owe them a season, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I've got them here. Let's fucking play for a season at least. It'd be if they go down that you start to sign them all. If they get into the Premier League, but forget about it. I mean, fuck me. These transfer rumours flying about. I couldn't believe what I read earlier. There's a fucking website out there dismissing their own transfer rumours.
You might as well call them out, because you called them out on our Twitter earlier. So you might.
How long have we been on? 21 minutes. 21 minutes. Nicky to say.
He's not going to last that long. Nick, before you go into it, right? Hang on, before you go into it, can I say though, with Fabianski, right, saying about where Randolph isn't good enough to push him, what we need to do is we need to go and get a young goalkeeper. If they're not thinking, if Trot's not the future, go and get a younger goalkeeper who's on the level of Fabianski, that's going to push him, and then can replace him, because Fabianski's not getting any younger.
I like the goalkeeper at Bournemouth. Is it Ramsdale? I think it'd be a great sort of backup for Fabianski, if not challenging Fabianski for the first team.
And that's what we need. Someone who's going to be in a season or 2 seasons' time, is going to be pushing Fabianski all the way for the next season or 2, and then step into his void once we have to.
Fabianski's what, 34 now, 35, or is he 36? He's around that age, isn't he?
Yeah, so, that's not old for a goalkeeper, but you want that competition, and I feel younger competition is what needed.
Yeah,
sorry,
100%.
Yeah, the thing is, there has been some sort of rumours that he's starting to regress, and that's going to happen at some point. You know what I mean? That's going to happen at the age of a goalkeeper. You can't say 36, 37 is not. He's not old for a goalkeeper, because it's old, and it's the point in your life when when the aches and the pains start to take a little bit longer, a day longer to stop coming. When it's a little bit harder to get up the next morning and all that. And that's everybody's life, whether you're an athlete or whatever. That's why athletes don't have sort of long careers in sports, because it gets to this point, like mid-30s, when it starts to take a little bit longer to recover from this, and it starts to take a little bit longer to get up in the morning and things like that. That's why you don't see fucking 70-year-old goalkeepers. And there is rumours that he's starting to regress now. Now, you can't. I know he's been injured a lot for this season. He was brilliant when he came in. He was absolutely brilliant. But if I don't mean to be, just dismissing someone, because he was our Hammer of the Year last year. But
I'm definitely not dismissing him, mate. I still rate him.
I'm talking about me. I'm not dismissing him, but it is time now. Maybe not this season, but at least the beginning of next to start.
There's a lot of people in the chat saying about Tim Krul, but Tim Krul's 32. That's not really a future goalkeeper for us.
I don't think Tim Krul's good enough.
And we're not dismissing Trot and the other youngster.
Oh no, definitely not. They deserve a chance in pre-season.
From what I've seen of Trot, and it's not a lot. He's a decent goalkeeper, and I'm just. What I was saying was, if West Ham don't feel that Trot is going to push Fabianski, then we need to go and get a goalkeeper that will.
I think another player as well, Josh Cullen, that David Moyes come out this week and said he's looking forward to working with him, bringing him back and adding him to the squad next season. Now, we had a conversation on here a few weeks ago about Cullen, and I sort of said that I felt that his chance had gone in the Premier League. But if he comes back, has a good pre-season and isn't around the squad, he might be that player that we might look to maybe replace Mark Noble. We've been saying that for a long time. Similar sort of player, but
myself, I feel that's sort of preparation, as if to say we're not spending any money here. We're going to have to.
But we won't. But Cullen's a decent player, so we wouldn't have to fork out 25, 30 million if Cullen comes in and settles in, and we know that he can play to his abilities.
I'll be honest. He's 25 now.
Yeah, that's not old, mate. That's not old. What, has everyone got to be 18, 19 to play?
I think when the chances are, if you're going to be a top class player.
All right, hang on. You're saying that, but Jamie Vardy didn't turn professional until he was 28.
Yeah, but obviously there's exceptions in a rule. You've got to talk about, a kid that's been in and around the squad. I mean, there's something about him, obviously. A couple of years ago.
I think if you're under 30, you've got a chance. I think if you're under 30, you've got a chance.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but then...
we're looking to sign in the Championship. We're looking to sign 25s and under. The kid's, well, I say kid, he's played for Charlton. Whenever he's been fit, he's played. The season before, whenever he's been fit, he's played. They're
Where was he the season before? Was it Bradford when he won Player of the Year?
No, he was at Charlton.
But before that, he played for Bradford.
Or other players were at Bradford, wasn't it? Or was he at Bradford as well?
But
no, Josh Cullen was at Bradford before Charlton.
Burke was at Bradford all season. Cullen went there in January. Burke got Player of the Year, and they said if Cullen had been there at the start of the season, he would have got Player of the Year.
I think he deserves at least one more chance. But I do think what Nicky said, I think there's a level whereas once you get to a certain age, like you're not going to improve that much.
I don't agree with that at all. Because if you put someone like, say, Josh Cullen, 25 now in the Man City team, you're telling me he's not going to improve with the players around him?
No, I mean in terms of his development and his ability to kick on at West Ham, because otherwise, look at all the players that we did. But
Jamie Vardy was playing football.
Yeah, but what I'm saying about Jamie Vardy, you can look at Jamie Vardy and look at him and think that, did he always have it? And he was just discovered later on, and he's taken his time to get up. Do you know what I mean? Come through, and he came up obviously, and ended up coming up with Leicester, I believe. In the end. So is it just a
that's just my opinion. You look at the players that go on to have long careers. They're always playing Premier League football in and around the squads at 21, probably the latest. There's not many that break in at 25 and then go on to have career. That's all I'm saying.
We've seen it with like Elliot Lee and Freddie Sears and all of those players. I think.
Yeah, but all them players that you mentioned there have all been sold off. Cullen hasn't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you give him one more season, if he can't get into the team next season, like how long do we wait? How long do we?
I never said that. That's if you go back to what I said that he's going to come in this pre-season, and I even said the other week that I feel that his chance might have gone.
Well, that last pre-season and the pre-season before that, he's never come in.
I think it's more to do with the management and the fact that we're now looking to replace Noble. This is the thing, right? We've not got no money. We found Souček, which is a absolute bargain of the century. That one, Rice is top quality. Noble's there and thereabouts. We need someone to come in who's going to replace Noble. Now, Cullen could be that player. He's got the ability from what you see it and when he plays for Charlton, what I've seen in him before. He's a decent player. He's said the guy, people in the comments saying he's only 24. He's 25 next April. That's he's why waste money on bringing a player in that may not work when you've got a young player there who possibly could work.
Yeah, if you're talking about building a squad, then Josh Cullen should be given a chance to join that squad because he's never really had that chance, is he? And I feel that when he has played in the first team, and you've got to remember, David Moyes gave him a chance last time when Moyes was here. And then Moyes left, and then that's when Cullen got loaned out again. So who knows what would have happened if Moyes would have stayed.
Sort of threw him under the bus a bit there, really, because he done a bit of a Big Sam where he just threw all the youngsters on in one go. And never really gave him a chance. But like not unlike with Rice, where we introduced him with senior players.
He didn't throw all the youngsters on at once. He played him in the FA Cup away to was it Macclesfield or Shrewsbury?
We had a lot on there. We had
Hernandez was playing.
He got his teeth knocked out.
Reece Burke was playing. Who else did we had? We had in centre back. We had a young player. I think Rice might have been. We had quite a few youngsters on in that game. We had I remember he put on quite. It weren't a full team of youngsters, but there was quite a few youngsters on. Is what I'm saying.
The only game where Cullen's really played around a lot of first team players was that friendly way back when against Juventus.
Yeah.
And he looked around the match.
The thing is with our fans as well, sometimes the hype, I think, outweighs the player. Remember Martinez?
Mm-hmm.
How many fans got players, got to be in the first team who played, and everyone was slagging him off.
Apparently, he's like the player of the season or something in the Portuguese league. Apparently,
it may well be. That's what I'm saying. Like, there isn't a lot of time to embed you. You got to get in and fucking make an impression straight away.
Right, Dan. Just quickly, mate. Our lineup on that day, right, was Joe Hart, Winston Reid, Ogbonna, Rice, Burke, Cullen, Obiang, Kouyate, Masuaku, Hernandez, and Andre Ayew. So that's a strong team for an FA Cup away to Shrewsbury.
I mean, but you at that time as well, though. How many of those played? Obviously, you've got. Who did you say? You said obviously Ogbonna at the back, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, Reid.
Yeah, Reid. Who did you have up front? Hernandez and I.
Andre Ayew.
A lot of youngsters on. There was Burke and Cullen, and then Martinez come on later.
Another game was it in the League Cup. There was a game where we played a lot more youngsters. Was it Stevenage? Was it Stevenage? Or was it another game? Was it Stevenage?
I don't think he was there for a League Cup game. I think we was out by the time he first come in.
No, FA Cup game.
Ryan, John May's having a go at you.
What?
Says, you don't answer my question.
What's the matter? What's the matter, John? What do you want to know? Do we need any more strikers and who? Yeah, we definitely need another one or two strikers. I'd like to see us keep Haller. I think Haller tweeted out today or on his Instagram, didn't he, saying that there's more to come from him next season. So he definitely deserves another chance at West Ham, Haller. I think it'd be great unless a stupid offer comes in and the deal's right for the club. I think it's stupid to sell him because I think David Moyes has sort of identified that he has to play up front with two. So when Haller is fully fit, I think he will be our main striker, and I'd like to see him get someone else up there with him. But look, it depends what sort of money and who he wants to bring in. That's going to be a tough decision.
And if he don't get someone up there with him, he's crazy.
He's got Antonio that can play on top of him as long as he replaces Antonio out on the wing.
This is the thing. When you look at the stats of Haller this season, a lot of people saying, "Oh, he don't work hard enough, he don't run." That ain't his game. Right, and I know you've got to put an effort in, and I feel when he did come on towards the end of the season, he was trying to show a bit more effort in shutting players down, things like that. That's not his game, right? And you still need to adapt. You look at his stats, he won the most aerial duels out of all of our other players. He was our second top goal scorer. For a first season coming into adapting into a team where you were signed and we were all expecting big things that we were going to push on and do a lot better than what we did, you're in a relegation scrap. You're not getting the service that you was in them first few games of the season. Then that's the thing. You can't really judge him on this season. This season,
who's his mate, Scott, at Real Madrid? Jovic, innit?
Jovic. We should get him on. We should go out all that to get him on loan.
Yeah, I think it'd be tough to get him on loan because ain't their ex-manager just gone to? Is it Monaco or something like that?
Oh yeah, well he wants. That's there, didn't he?
But that'd be the sign in the summer if we got him in. Imagine having him up top with Haller and then getting some creative players around them too. It'd be tough.
We do need. I think a more creative player. I think someone who can create.
Yeah, we need someone like like Lanzini a couple of years ago before he got injured. He used to get on that ball and he used to have his head up. And he always used to be looking for that little pass, a bit like Payet as well. Shall I say Payet? I don't think we'd get anyone as good as Payet, but that's what Payet used to do, wasn't it? He used to get on the ball, he'd take people on, and he'll look for that little through ball. He'll try it. If it don't come off, he'll still try again because he knows it will come off at one point. And that's what we need. We need some players like that in the midfield. Diangana saves you 35 minutes.
Any comments yet? So let's take some of the comments from the guys. Cullen just needs a chance. We have nothing to lose by having him around the team, pushing Noble for his spot. Says Stevie Warboys. Cullen's not going to make it at West Ham, says Mark. We should buy a good young keeper, says Milan. Daytime Dave wants a 95% discount on the Lanzini t-shirts. Lee Davis, what about Harry Kane? He was older than 21. That's correct. So I did say there is exceptions to the rule. By the way, love this, didn't know about it. Appreciate you giving me a reason to knock off work at lunchtime on a Friday. Yeah, right, Dan, says Milan again. Happy birthday, Scott. Scott, what birthday cake did you give? 24.
What does it look like a marble?
Ramadan says, what? What did you say?
Who? Scott, something about marble.
He's that excited. Look, he's froze.
He said he got a marble.
Ramadan says 24 plus.
I've got a marble.
What?
He got a cake that looked like a marble.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ramadan 24 plus, you can still improve, but the growth has slowed down a lot. No one's going to choose 25-year-old player who can grow over an 18-year-old player. I see some comments about Connor Coventry being the next one to break through. I don't know, man. It's not to break through. We all want to see players break through, but as this might be the opportunity. This is the thing. Just because I'm saying this opinion, I'm not always going to be right. Ryan's not always going to be right. Dan's not always going to be right. These are our opinions. Like, we're not saying. I'm not saying like I'm totally right and that's what's going to happen. That's my opinion. But with COVID and all that sort of thing, it might start giving these people a chance to get into the first team. You don't know what's going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's it. This is it's unpredictable times. No, people are saying nobody's got any money to spend. Fans are going to get back around. If fans are going to get back in the ground, there's going to be a reduced capacity. So there's only a few clubs in the world that are going to be able to spend a lot. So it's going to take them to.
Because this is what I'm starting to get a little bit confused about. Right? People are saying, "Oh, there's only going to be a couple of
only the big teams will be spend
all their money and all that." But what's financial fair play? I thought that was meant to be bringing in money to spend it.
Well, it's mad, like, because you've got Burnley, I think, are just about to sign some player in the Championship for about 10 million, isn't they? They're signing someone. Leeds as well, looking to sign some player for 15 million. Obviously, Palace and a link with Eze. It keeps going back between us and Palace, I don't know. But there are clubs, that aren't, the rich, super rich clubs that are looking to buy players.
Well, I just can't understand how. I'm going to go back outside because it's the weather seems to have changed.
That looks like the scene. You remember in Hangover when Stu wakes up when he's drunk and he's walking?
But they're talking about that, but there's other sponsorship opportunities. You know what I mean? I know companies are losing money, but the big companies like McDonald's and all of that shit that sponsor the football and Budweiser and all of them capers, they're not losing any money. Charge them more. More. There's going to be more TV opportunities. There's going to be more TV this and that. You know what I mean? But I don't understand. I think, unfortunately, I don't want to keep on coming out here, man. I'm pretty positive, but I just find it as another convenient excuse. That's the problem, and I really don't want to sort of what's the word? Sit here fucking moaning about it. I've got used to it now. I just see it as another convenient excuse, and they're saying something like we have to raise fucking 25 million to even break even just now. Come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, we have to obviously see what actually happens, if it's all talk and if it's all mind games or whatever. If it turns out to be the case and we do actually have to sell to buy, then you've got to ask questions because, like you said, like other teams can do it. So why can't we? But
last week, I think there is a bit of money there, but I don't think it's as much as we want it to be. We will have to sell players to bring players in. That's the no doubt. But I'm just. Go on, Nick. Go on.
Go on.
No, go on.
This
No,
one
go on.
for a while.
No, go on. You can.
No,
Because
go
we're
on.
going to move on. We're going to move on to season tickets after this because me and Scott ain't really had our opinions on season tickets. Obviously, we've heard yours and Dan's. So, yeah, me and Scott are have a little say on the season ticket scenario. But go on, Nick. You can. I'll sit back. Let me get a cigar and listen to you slate claret and you for 20 minutes. Look at Dan. He's so excited.
I'm gonna say one thing. I discovered this. It was me that put it up the first. The picture come from me. And all I would say is this, and I'm going to say this, and that's it. If you're seeing a man post a transfer rumour and then an hour later dismiss his own rumour, don't read his website. That's all I would say.
He said that because people were criticising him.
Sean might have posted it, and Hugh might have said no.
That's the same account. It's Sean's account.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't. Oh, who's gone? All right, Nick. Fucking hell, what's it? Nicky's gone to get him.
I needed to respond to him. What I was going to say, Nicky needed to hear it, but that was really weird. He just got up and walked off, didn't say anything.
And the shadow.
Do I keep freezing?
Huh?
Sorry, my battery was about to run out. I needed to get the charger.
No, you're right.
Right. What I was going to say, Nick, was what he's come out and said is he said, read the articles, don't just read the headlines. That's what he said.
Well, that's how you get people into your website by headlines. They're clickbait.
Yeah, he needs to then reconsider the clickbait headlines. Then, innit? If you're upset about people misunderstanding you because of your headlines, then the problems with your headlines, not the people reading them.
Just where is it? Just quickly, where is it gone? Oh, fucking hell. Zombie Dan Shadow. That's a new show that we're going to be coming up with on the channel for the Patreon. So sign up to the Patreon. You can see Dan and his Shadow on the new show.
Bloody hell.
You can sing that song, Dan, Me and My Shadow.
Do you know what?
Music.
It's got a thing about it, isn't it? The shadow, yeah.
Go on then, Nick.
What?
Go on. Oh, you finished ripping into him.
I'm finished.
Oh, that was it.
Oh, yeah, I was expecting more. I thought you got up and climbed over the fence to get them or something.
No, that's all I'll say. I don't want to go too much into it. I do it every week. It's not fair. I do actually like Sean. He's all right, but I just find that.
Think he knows that.
What?
I don't think he knows it at this point.
Well, that's him.
The thing is, though, people on YouTube do the clickbait thing, don't they? Like when they put up videos and put certain titles and things like that. But it's all about getting people to his site, which you, as a business, you can sort of understand. But we all know. I don't agree with it either. It's like when you see some titles on YouTube videos, like for the West Ham, like when they put up highlights on the thing, like people click on it expecting to see highlights when they don't. It's just but that's how what people want to do. That's what people want to do. It's
I'm very careful to make sure that when we put a title on our videos, the expectation of what you're going to see is kind of explicit in the title. I remember.
The thing is, why isn't in the know would you report on rumours and clickbait and all of that when you're meant to be positioning yourself someone who knows? I don't get what their position is.
Do you know what it is? Do you know why it is? Nick? Because they've got to get traffic. If they've only got like 2 in the know stories, they've got to make more stories so then they can keep people clicking on the website. It's
a waste of time. You might as well not read it. That's what I said. Like, why would you waste your time reading shit? It might as well have said, see all these transfer rumours, you've wasted your time.
It is a bit. It's like a newspaper printing a story and then like the next day printing a different story counteracting their original story. Doesn't make sense. But Dan's right. They need to try.
It was after a day, but this was after 2 hours.
Maybe it must be a slow day.
It's always a slow day. There's only so much news you can generate. You can't keep on making it up as you go along just to get people to your website. After a while, people like me and you, they start to get pissed off of that. It's no good I don't think it's no good in the long run. What's the point in writing 40 articles in a fucking day when you're just talking nonsense?
Yeah.
You got to take everything.
Newspapers have been doing that for years, mate. The internet's a new version of a newspaper.
Right. Season tickets.
Go on, guys. The floor is yours.
I've already renewed. I'm only joking. No, I am going to renew, but obviously I'm going to leave it up to the last day because I don't want my money sitting in their accounts. But obviously, I know I've seen obviously your videos, and I'm in the camp. Like, the 30% thing don't entertain me at all because I think if you sign up for that, you're not seeing any football. You're just putting 30% down for your season ticket for the year after. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel on that. I'll be very surprised to see more crowds, more than 70% back by next season. I know it's difficult times. We all knew it was coming. We all knew season ticket renewals were coming. The club should have put out the 3 options straight away. Obviously, they put the 2 options out, and they had a little bit of backlash on social media. Dan put a video up, Nicky put a video up, loads of other people put videos up and said about it. And I think the 3rd option is fair for people that obviously can't afford. But the problem with the 30% is that if you sign up for that, you can't go to any games until they can go up. So they might only go up to 50 or 60% for the rest of the season, and you can't go back. You've got to wait till it goes past the 70%. So if you're willing to do that and think, I'll sit at home and watch football, that's fair enough. But for me personally, I want to go back to football, whether it's 15%, 20%, 25, 30%. I don't care. It don't really bother me. I just want to go back to football. The only thing is obviously is it will be difficult. Not difficult. It will be a weird experience, but that's what I'm saying. It's a choice at the end of the day. Basically, you've got 3 choices now, but back then you had 2 choices. You either sign up or you don't. And I know there's a lot of people sitting there going, I've seen them on Twitter, don't renew. Probably because they're not season ticket holders and they don't go all the time. It's difficult to give up something that you've done for so long. And I know that it's because just imagine you're sitting at home, you signed up the 30%, and then West Ham have a fucking blinding season, and you can't attend any of them games. So there's always it's 50-50. Scott, what's your thoughts, mate? Go on, what's your thoughts?
No, the thing is, right, that Nicky and Dan both made good points in what they were saying, the same as you. I'm renewing. Like I said to Dan in the chat when we were discussing it, at the end of the day, I'm there supporting West Ham. I ain't supporting the owners. I'm supporting the club. Unfortunately, for me to support the club, my money goes into the owners' pockets. And I ain't can do about that because I want to go and watch football. I don't agree with football having supporters back on a reduced capacity. It should be either we can all go or nobody goes. Because they'll make their money off the TV. There's ways and means of doing things where they can generate income, where the fans can buy a season ticket to watch the football so that the clubs can generate income and stuff like that. And, let's be honest, the TV companies have got enough money and they'll get enough advertising to show the games on telly. But I'm not giving up my season ticket. I've got my ticket. The last thing I want to do is give it up. Because if I give it up and then by January, them 2 fuckers are gone, and new owners come in and things start to change for the better, I then have to go and buy a season ticket where I can get one.
This is what I'm saying, Scott.
It's brilliant.
If I give up my season ticket, I'd regret it. And I know I would. I know as much as I'm enjoying sitting at home watching the football now, that's because I'm not allowed to go. If there's a chance that I can go, then I want to go. Yeah. Obviously, I want everyone there. I want to go with all my mates and things like that. But I would 100% regret giving it up. I know I would. So that's why I am going to renew. I know, Dan, obviously you said that obviously the finance thing and listen, that's fair enough. I understand that. And it's been difficult for a lot of people who support West Ham that have been out of work. I've been lucky enough that I was furloughed for a month, but I got full pay and I've gone back into work and I've continued. So I'm not in that situation where I can't afford it. But I know there are people that I can afford it, but there are people that can't afford it, and I totally understand that. And that option 3 is great, but I think what they should have done with the option 3 was, they should have done earlier. They should have just put a 30% deposit down on your season ticket, and then you pay that off, and then you go into a ballot, and then if you get chosen, you put your card details on, and then they just take it game by game. They take it from your card. They say, right, congratulations, Dan, you've won. Been successful in the ballot. You can go to the West Ham versus Southampton game at home. Do you want to attend or not? You say yes or no. Then if you don't, they put you back in the ballot for the next game. If you say yes, you click yes. They take the money from your account and just do it like that.
Because that's what I was saying to you is about having before they put the option 3 up, having the option that your club cash from your renewal, from what you've got the refund, that's your deposit, keeps your seat. And that keeps your seat secure for this season. If you want to go, you pay the rest of the season ticket off, whether it's monthly. If you can't afford to go, the club cash is there. That secures your seat. The club can then sell your seat for that season until you turn around and say, "I want to come back to football. I feel safe to risk."
It's a bit like the away, just the way they do the away thing for the away season ticket holders. You get selected, they take the money from your account. It's the easiest option. But the thing is at West Ham is that we don't have owners, and not only the owners, it's all obviously the marketing team as well that deal with the tickets and things like that. They haven't got the sense to do something like that because it's too easy to do that. It makes sense, and they don't always do things that make sense. They like to do things the hard way, and I think sometimes they like the social media storm because it brings West Ham into the fucking limelight for the negatives.
It's also the fact that they keep banging on about the waiting list, and that's the thing. Why they've got a waiting list of people, they do not care if you don't renew your season ticket. Because all they look at it is, you don't renew your ticket, Joe Bloggs is going to come and buy a season ticket. He's paying £10 for the season to be on the waiting list.
The thing is, Scott, I don't really think that it's true that there are that many people wait on the waiting list. But my thing is that if I give it up, I don't want it to take me 4 years to get it back. And that's what worries me, because if I don't get it back, I'm not just going to go to the odd game here and there or a cup game when I can get a ticket. I probably won't go back. And then that'll be me done with going to West Ham. It'll just be me sitting at home watching it on the stream and then forgetting about it. But
I think the most disappointing thing to come out of this whole thing, just to reiterate my position, is the fact that they was told not to do this. They was warned there's going to be a massive storm here, and they promised the people. And this is why I said to the people that go into them meetings and all that, I didn't know none of them fuckers were going into meetings. Didn't know. Neither did you. Neither did you. Neither did you. What's the point in having support representation when you don't know it's happening?
This is it. This is the problem, isn't it? There's no transparency.
But we know they only bring in. We know they're only bringing the fans that they're comfortable with. That know they're not going to get a backlash.
Too many people that are on that sort of board that I've been in that position before. I've been in that position where they pull you in and they start fucking asking you questions and all that. And I've seen people standing there eating the fucking crisps and eating the sandwiches, nodding, and fucking slapping the salmon in their mouth because they're too scared to say anything. And you've got to have people in there that take full. And I've argued this for years and years. You've got to take people in there that have got full fan representation, that people know that they're going in there. And I think that's where sort of Hammers United made a mistake, because I think Hammers United are the most genuine one out of the lot. I don't trust any of the others, not in a million years, because they all get perks and fucking things like that. But I think that's where Hammers United make a mistake, and I think that they will learn from the mistake. But this is what the club do. They're so clever at what they do, and we've had it done to us, and we learned by our mistake. And that's why I'll never go back to do that sort of thing. Is they'll get you in, ask you questions. They've already made the decision. They know what they're doing. They just get you in so they can turn around and go, well, they said it was all right. They're meant to be representing you. They said it was all right. They disband them. They discredit them. They make them look silly. They make them look weak.
Thing is, mate, as soon as they get any decent people on like the supporters boards and that, all that, they dig deep on to find dirt on them so they can get them out, because it don't fit the agenda of they're not the fans that we want in these meetings, because the thing is, they don't want fans that tell them the truth.
That ain't even the fucking club doing that. That's the other supporters.
Yeah,
they don't want truth.
And reporters.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing. They run straight. This is the thing about some of the people in these sort of high-powered positions, is the fact that they don't want anyone to go against the grain. They want to have the final say on it all. They all sit there claiming they represent this, they represent that. They don't represent fuck all. Nothing.
But that's the problem, right? They set up this group, and then everyone, when you saw them all introduced, even when Nick, was
This
in
was
there.
this was the latest reiteration of the OSB, which has been bollocks since day one, because it's not correct.
Everybody was, I'm here representing this set of people. I'm here representing this set of people. Why are you having individuals saying that I'm representing this person, this type? I'm representing away season ticket. I'm representing disabled fans, things like that. You're representing everybody.
Right? Tell me now, Ryan, Scott, Dan, you all sit in the East Stand. Who's the East Stand representative on the OSB?
I ain't got a clue.
Billy Bonds.
Who is it?
I didn't know there was one
representing all the fans from the East Stand. I don't know.
This is what I'm saying. As Scott said, they've all got individual people representing. They should all be. Everyone in that meeting should be taking time on every single topic. They shouldn't be thinking, right, John over there's got to deal with that. Let's not listen. Everyone should have an opinion and say on what goes on at that football club.
It's always that. Even I don't think they'll ever, like I said, this one who Nicky said he thinks are good. They didn't listen to him. I don't think they'll ever listen. And I think that third option 3, I said this on my video the other day, I think they had that in their back pocket. And I think they held back on that because they want to try and get as many people renewing the full amount as possible, so they get as much money ahead of time as possible. And then they saw the backlash, and because look how quick that option 3 came out, like literally the very next day.
And as I said, Dan, mate, I'm glad they brought that option 3 out for people that are sort of financially struggling through these times. But I just feel with that 30% deposit, I think you're just putting your money down for the season after. I don't think. And that's the worrying thing, because I don't want people to put that because that 30% money is going to sit in their accounts for over my
30% has already been sitting in their account because that's the refund. So my refund, my refund pays for that, right? So that's if I do that option, that's what it's going to be. But I heard about apparently Chelsea are doing it. They're not charging people for the full season ticket straight away. They're doing like 20%. 20%. And I was saying, with the climate, the way things are and the way a lot of people have been affected, you would think they would take the finance option, right? The 4 months, or maybe not the 10 months, maybe the 4 months, and say, right, it's available to everyone, like what Chelsea are doing. Everyone can pay X amount a month, 100 odd quid a month. And have that for everyone, just to ease it up and ease the burden. What they've tried to do is just go, no, we want like the full whack up front. You got a month to pay it, and they're trying to get as much money as they can early on.
There's a lot of problem with the what's happened over the last couple of days, because they're all talking about we're going to start increasing crowds. The government's stance on this COVID-19, I don't understand it, to be honest with you. You have to go, wear a face mask, which I fully support. If you go into a shop, fucking put a mask on. Not hard. You know what I mean? You don't have to fucking sit there whinging and fucking moaning about it. It's a mask. Put it on. Is it hot? Yeah, it's hot. It's, it's uncomfortable. But if that's what you've got to do, that's what you've got to do. I put a mask on every time I go in a shop, and you see people walking in and out without them. It's meant to be mandatory now. But they're allowing people to go into the pub and get drunk and slobber all over each other. What's
the point of wearing a mask in a shop?
Well, you can't wear a mask in a pub, otherwise the fucking beer will go everywhere. But this is what I'm saying, like the way they've handled this the last few months, I understand why, because they need the economy back up and running. Otherwise, the whole thing's going to fucking collapse. But there are decisions they're making now that they should have been making at the beginning, and it's sort of a mixed bag now, And now, like when you look at the season ticket renewals, they've just shut down the whole of fucking Greater Manchester. Can't even go around people's houses anymore. There's a lot more from this virus than still to come, just because of the way it's been handled. And
the thing is, as well, mate, the club ain't stupid.
Me personally, I'm not fucking forking out 600 quid. 600 quid that in my circumstances at the moment is it's going to be difficult, for them to turn around and go,
you're not forking out 600 quid though, are you? Because you get your money back games you don't attend.
Yeah, but even still, what's the point? You get it back 30 days, and
that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You've got a choice. You've got 3 options. So on that, if me and Scott want to renew and go and do option 1, then we can. Dan can do option 3. You can do option 2 or 3. It's whatever suits you.
No,
So
no.
everyone acted like surprised that season ticket renewals were coming up.
No,
Everyone knew that they was coming up.
It's just how they've handled it, really.
I don't think it was the case of everyone was surprised. We all knew it was coming. We all knew the day after the season finished it was going to come. But there has to be, it's, you know, as I said before, as I said on my video, this is why I'm so irate with it. It's unprecedented circumstances. They'd already, before they even got these supporters groups into meetings, they'd already decided what the fuck they was going to do.
And then what else could they have done then?
Well, you said an option earlier.
Yeah, I know that, but they haven't. Obviously, that's what I'm saying. But even if they would have done that option, people still would have moaned.
But
There's no way the club was going to win, because whatever they done or said was people were going to not agree with it.
I don't agree with that, mate. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
I mean, the only option that everyone would have been happy with, they would just turn around and said, "Here's your season ticket for free."
No, I don't.
I think that's for season, because the thing about it, you say that, but then when they paid all the West Ham staff full price and put them on furlough and paid them full wages, everyone applauded them. No one moaned about that. So when the club get it right, we are willing to take and say, yeah, well done. Like I said, there was other options. Like I said, Chelsea, Tottenham, all of that, and whoever are doing 40%. Pay this bit now.
Hold on, Dan. Let me give you an example here, right? If I owned a restaurant, yeah, and I booked you free in for a meal, yeah, and I said, you got to pay up front, and then I phoned you up tonight, right? I said, sorry, mate, you didn't get in tonight. I'll give you money back in a month. Would you be happy?
Well, no, you wouldn't be happy, but that's just. But if you'd have told me that before and give me warning, which they have, they've given you a month's notice that that's what they're going to do. I ain't just going to turn up to West Ham and they're going to go, right, you're not coming in, and push me out the turnstiles.
But the options they laid on the table at the time was do that or lose it.
Yeah. But no, you don't lose it. You get your money back.
See,
for the games that you don't go, they refund you the money.
Let's talk about that. I want to talk about that refund, yeah. And I said this on my video, right? It's going to be the same way as it worked with the lockdown when we couldn't go, right? And they refund it. They'll refund it in club cash, and they'll make you jump through so many different hoops just to try and get that from club cash to your bank account. So
but then you just do what I've done, and you just leave it in there, and it goes towards your season.
Yeah, but maybe people don't want to have like all of that money for get all these games.
Yeah, but Dan, what you got to realise, man, I understand your situation, but not everyone's in that situation.
No, but for the people that are, we're not a middle class club. We're a working class club, right? With working class fans, right, who have families and all this to take care of. Just because people might still have their jobs, don't mean that. They're not. Some people have been getting paid 80% of their wages, on furlough. Some people can get paid 80%. Everyone's in all these different circumstances. So you take this into consideration.
I think what the club done with the free options now, all right, not so much when they first released it, but now with the free options, they're catering for everyone in these situations.
Yeah, but that's what they only done it after everyone moaned. So you're saying like about. I
would still argue that third option would need a bit of work, but it's a lot better options than it was available. I would still say that third option, it stings a little bit in the throat, because they're basically saying, right, you pay 30%, there's no chance you're coming back, but the next season you can come back.
There might be a chance you might come back, but me personally, I don't think there will be, and that's what I'm saying, that people are going to put their 30% down and not go, when you might as well just sort of pay your season ticket and just do it that way. If you want to go, if you don't, if you're happy sitting at home watching on the telly, then that's fine. Put your 30% down and wait. But me personally, I want to go back to the London Stadium. I want to go and watch football again. So
with just 10,000 people there, no away fans.
It don't matter, mate. It don't matter. There's no different. I'll be sitting in my front room. But listen, mate. That's if you don't like that, that's your choice. Everyone's got a choice. I'm happy to go back to London Stadium. And I remember going to watch West Ham at Upton Park when European games, like in '99, when there was only like 8,000 there. So, and cup games when there only used to be like 10,000 there. So for me, it's going to, obviously there's a 60,000 seater stadium with only 15, 20,000 people in it. It is going to look shit, but I'm going there to watch the game. I'm not sitting there looking at the crowd. There's no atmosphere at the London Stadium anyway, so it don't matter.
Where you sit, mate. It's decent.
Don't get me wrong. If I'm going there and there's hardly any crowd there, I miss the fact that I ain't going to be with you guys.
Yeah, but we can all go together. I suppose they're going to put it like, say me and you, Scott. I suppose you apply for tickets like you do away tickets. You put your reference number down saying, look, we all want to go to games together.
Yeah.
So and then you get drawn out together. So
I think
it's not going to be this. This was my thing. Of I don't agree with fans going back. I think it should. Every sport should be behind closed doors, probably barring some cricket because there's not always a lot of people at county cricket. But sports like football and things like that, where there's sellout crowds week in, week out, they shouldn't be allowed back. We should all wait until this is gone or there's a vaccine, like Nicky said before, then put everyone back. It's not like there isn't a way they can bring the football to everybody, bring the money to the football clubs. The TV's there. They've done it through lockdown. They could do it for a season and then let everyone back in.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to watch it at home, you can. If you want to go to the ground and sit there with 15,000 people, you can. You've got an option. Everyone's got an option in life. They're not telling you to do this and that's your only option.
But they was. And that was the problem. And I think that was the problem from the beginning. They were saying,
they was.
Or you fucking lose it. And that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But then they brought out the third option.
Yeah, but why does it have to take everyone to get pissed off for them to do it? Just do it first.
But hang on, right? I'm going to put this comment up here. Right? This comment here. Have the money that is in the club cash as your guaranteed seat for the season after next and allow season ticket holders to pound a day or just go before a match. You know, that would be a common sense way of doing it.
Yeah, but they're doing the ballot instead, didn't they? They're doing a ballot thing.
But that would make a lot more common sense. To do it that way.
The thing is with pound a day is that, you know, you never know who's going to fucking turn up. You could have 60,000 people turn up on a pound a day.
You couldn't do pound a day. You'd have to do it.
A pre-selected process. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, and the thing is with that sort of thing, there's still going to be people chancing their fucking arm going over there. Believe you me,
you're going to even the ballot's going to not be fair if people are going to moan about that, because some people will get tickets for Southampton at home and then some people will miss out on Tottenham at home and then some people will get Burnley at home and then miss out on Chelsea at home. And
a lot of people don't like the away ballot, do they? A lot of people don't like the away ballot.
But that's what I'm saying. It's all, unfortunately, look.
You can tell people to pay for a season ticket and then say, right, we're going to do a ballot to let people in. To me, that doesn't work. As I said, just don't have no one in the to this.
Well, yeah, it is a mess. But with the refund of club cash, I've been hearing from fans. Some fans have been saying their club cash has been wiped out. There's one of our patrons that said their club cash got wiped out. They was fuming, like, so I don't know what the fuck's happening there.
Yeah, I don't think they're just going to take your cash. It's probably obviously saying there. They'll probably put it back in, or they've unless he might have renewed his season ticket and they've taken it from that or so. I don't know, but...
Yeah,
I don't know anyone in the comments, but a lot of people obviously are saying that there's quite a few fans has been wiped out.
We're not talking for everyone, as I said before. This is just opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion. I'm not sitting there arguing anyone's opinion. It's all what you've got to. It's your personal. And that's it. There's no right or wrong answer here. But what I would say is there's going to be a good thing about this, because the fair weathers, the people that were buying tickets, and we know they was there because they was cheap, and to go one game was there. Look, you look around your season ticket. You look at your season tickets around your seats for seasons upon seasons. Not so much anymore, but for seasons upon seasons, there's people that just don't turn up. You look around at your seats. There's people that don't turn up. Man United or Chelsea or Liverpool or City roll into town, and the seats are all full up. And there's people that don't support West Ham that have bought season tickets for the 1+2, 1+3,
1+2,
1+2. We all knew that there was and hopefully this is going to wipe them out, because they can't buy their season tickets next year and turn around and go, I'm going to go to the Man United game, or I'm going to go to the Arsenal. Be told,
they might get the Burnley game.
They'll be told what they can and can't fucking go to. And hopefully it discourages a lot of them people to turn around and go, nah, and give someone that's on the waiting list a go, a proper fan that wants the ticket.
All right, just quickly though, like if you had the option that you could do the credit thing, would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't do it? So basically you don't want to go back to West Ham then?
I don't want to go back to in the current state, no, I don't.
All right, but
that's just in the current.
That's your choice. But then like that's what I'm saying. Like I want to go back. Scott wants to go back. So that's what I'm saying. It's all
Well, that's your choice, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's our choice. We've all got a choice, but I don't like people on social media telling me not to renew because if you renew, I'm putting money in the club's pocket, in the owner's pocket. Everyone's been putting money in the owner's pockets for the last 10 years. Buying the club shirts, they're putting the money in their pocket.
That's what I said. I don't see it like that. I don't see it that I'm putting money into. I'm paying to go and watch the team I support, the team I love. That's why I'm paying the money. I'm not paying the money because at the end of the day, I'd pay the money because I want to watch the site, the football team. I'm not paying the money because I'm sitting there going, oh, I've got to give the 2 Daves my money, otherwise we can't go and sign the next Ronaldo or something like that. You know, I don't look at it like. Unfortunately, I have to put my money into the club to go and watch the team I want to watch.
It's not as simple as don't renew because you don't put the money in their pocket, because a lot of people
4 or 5
a lot of people, this is their life, this is how they see their friends and their families, and like going to the games is everything to a lot.
This is what I've been doing since I was 10 years old. So to give it up and not go is a fucking tough decision. It's like, as I said, if I don't renew and I lose my season ticket, I probably won't go back, because I've seen people in there in the comments saying they've been on the waiting list for 3 or 4 years. I'm not going to sit there and wait for 3 or 4 years. I'll just be done with it, and I'll just like, well, fuck it. I won't go no more.
And this is my thing. Where the seat that I've now got, where I sit with you, Dan, and we've got the people that sit around and sit with them. I like that seat, and I don't want to give up that seat.
But you know what? Apparently, some people have actually been being moved because they're doing this. What's it called? Where you renew early and you get to move seats. But apparently, some people are being moved.
What it was that normally what it is, the earlier, if you want to move seats, they say to you renew early, and then you're hiring a priority to move seats. It's a load of crap, because I renewed quite late and still got to move seats exactly where I wanted to sit.
There was someone on Twitter. She was saying basically she's got moved quite far from her dad and her brother and all of that, and has been moved quite far away.
I think Baz as well. I think Baz has been moved from his niece, because obviously they haven't got the same surname, so they've moved them. And obviously Baz has been trying to get in contact with the club, and this is another thing I was going to say about obviously option 3 on the season tickets. You can't do it online, so the money you spend on ringing them up, that pays for your season ticket anyway. So you might as well fucking just renew.
But I'm saying, what the fuck is that about? What a shambles! They're just people are just getting moved willy-nilly away from their family.
If they're moving people like without us, speaking to them first, that's bang out of order, because I wouldn't have that. If they move me from where I'm sitting now, it's my choice. If they're move, I move.
We haven't really had a chance to, have a look at it. Is the fact they are. I've seen many instances because of this reconfiguration of the fucking stands. Instead of writing to everyone and saying we're reconfiguring the stands, just sit with anyone, just so we can, put you together when we reconfigure the stand. They've just gone ahead and fucking started moving people, and then told them if you want to move back with them, you've got to renew your season ticket.
So this is what she said. So West Ham have moved me a total of
professional fucking outfit like this. Well, professional. Can balls this up time after time. Honestly, I don't.
What she said is, so West Ham have moved me a total of 43 seats away from my dad and brother, but I have to pay £550 in one payment ASAP if I want first dibs on a seat anywhere remotely close to them. So it's like they've moved her, but if she wants to try and get back somewhere else, but it's kind of close, buy the seat now. So that's a fucking shambles. Like, until that your seat should be safe until the season ticket deadline has passed.
They should be contacting. They should be contacting anyone that's moved, before they move them, to say, look, we are moving your seats. As Nicky said, do you sit with people? Mm-hmm. And then they all get contacted and they're moved.
Why are they moving in the first place, though? Why moving?
Obviously, where they're obviously it's only the people behind the goals. So, but then I thought that if really they should have keep people in their seats, or if they have to move them over, then the people at the front, they should ring you, say, look, do you want to move closer to the pitch, or do you want to stay in your seats? And then new season ticket holders can have the choice to sit at the front.
It does.
But it's all shambles.
Yeah, it makes me like Nicky said before and in the chat. It's amazing the people that run that side of the football club don't think of these things.
Yeah, it's.
But anyway, happy birthday, Scott.
I'm out now. Cheers, lads.
Happy birthday. Good stuff. Right, then, Nick, enjoying you.
Well, that's it for season tickets anyway. Fuck the season tickets.
I still don't think we've,
sorry, mate. Just quickly, just going randomly off subject here. But did you see that Sheffield Wednesday got deducted 12 points today, but it don't roll on until next season? But Wigan had their 12 points taken off them this season.
Yeah,
and they got relegated.
Yeah,
same thing.
It's fucking mental, mate.
They've gone in administration. I think Derby's another club that's going to go into administration, apparently.
But what I mean, I don't get it.
And if you'd have took that 12 points off of Sheffield Wednesday, they would have been relegated.
Yeah.
So Wigan are going to have a massive lawsuit there. I don't know how that's been allowed, but
shambles.
It's when they went into administration, because obviously with Wigan, there's the big alleged betting scandal that's going on.
Yeah, but Wigan should just get their mouth shut for a few more weeks, then, shouldn't they? Really?
No. He apparently the guy that owned them is in on the big bet, and he.
Well, it sounds like the people that run the league are as well.
Yeah, they definitely ain't right.
Into administration.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's worrying. There's that when you look at that situation with Wigan, the fact that the EFL allowed that buy to go through is comical.
We said it last week. We said it last week, mate, that there's going to be a lot of lower league teams that suffer. I mean, being in the Premier League is where you've got to be, and you know, if you drop down out of that, even Championship teams, as we see, are struggling at the moment. So it was so important that we stayed in the Premier League.
Oh, massively, mate, massively.
Jake Hammond says, this is Ask Us Anything now, we're into that. I'm an Arsenal fan. Would you take £40 million for Rice? What do you want, his boots? We'd do that.
I've got a bowl of rice in the back you can have for 40 million.
Jake, yeah, that'll get you his left leg. Put the rest in the post for his right and the rest of him.
He wouldn't go Arsenal either. He'd want Champions League. If he was to leave, he might as well go Champions League.
Well, if he was to go to Arsenal, he's got about. I mean, they're in the same competitions as us this year, aren't they?
Well, speaking of Arsenal, it's the FA Cup final tomorrow, isn't it? It's weird that we're talking about the FA Cup final. Like,
is it?
Yeah, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It's crazy, like, to think we're 1st of August and we're talking about the FA Cup final. Mental. But as I said last week, I'm glad that the two teams in the final are the teams that are in the final, because they've had so much success in competitions over the years, especially Arsenal, that it's good that crowds. It's not good that crowds ain't going to be there, because their fans should be there to support their team on a day. But imagine if it hadn't been a team that had been in the FA Cup final for years, or their first ever, and their fans couldn't be there. So
that'd be awful, yeah, man.
It's still going to be a good cup final tomorrow. I think Chelsea might just edge it though. I don't know. It's a big one, but it's because whoever wins, Lampard or Arteta, is their first trophy in it. But I don't know. I just think Chelsea are going to have a bit more than Arsenal tomorrow. But you never know. If Aubameyang turns up, he could win the game for Arsenal. But it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. If
going back to the 40 million, if Maguire sold for 80 million, don't sit there and tell me fucking Rice is worth 40 million.
This is my argument, right? This is the thing now. Van Dijk was 75 million. Van Dijk is 10 times the player Maguire is. Maguire is massively overrated.
Yeah, and that's what we think of that, Scott.
Will be a lot than Maguire ever will.
What's your internet? A coat hanger?
So people are laughing at us when we're saying Rice on pavilion. Oh, so where I cut out?
I like it when he smiles and it freezes.
He looks like he's saying, "We want more." Look, hanging on the table. Absolutely fucking.
Well done, Scott. Well done. That's a great opinion, Scott. Go on, Dan.
I want to see us. I want to see us.
Having a minute tonight.
Oh, fucking! He's caught up. Is that dial-up I can hear in the background?
Yeah.
See, I think my internet's aged along with me, isn't it?
Fucking hell, yeah. I think you got 40-year-old internet, mate.
Fucking hell, what the fuck's
Oh, where's he gone? He's disappeared.
I'm taking it out. Dan, you're
Andy
gonna
Burton. Here he is. There's Dan. Oh, here he is.
Yeah, I
Hello,
don't know what's
Scott.
going on. My internet's got mad tonight. I don't know why.
maybe
Yeah,
the fucking
It's a good question. Bit off West Ham. Who do you want to win the playoff final? Brentford or Fulham?
I'm happy with either of them. They're both in London way.
I like to see Brentford come up, but I want to see Scott Parker do well for Fulham. So I'm with Nicky. It don't really bother me who wins it, to be fair, but I'd like to go Brentford because it's a shame though it ain't going to be at Griffin Park because I'd love to have gone to their old ground. They've got this new stadium now, but yeah, I want to see Scott Parker do well. So yeah.
I'd like Brentford to do it because it's a new club. It'd been huge for that club. You know, they've been massive for them to see themselves in the Premier League for the first time. So I like
atmosphere at Fulham games are awful. I'm going to say that. Yeah. Like, how can you have like neutral fucking stands at football?
Not in the away end. It ain't. The home fans. They score and they apologise to you for scoring.
Yeah,
like their butler comes down. And, do you remember that time when they were shooting out T-shirts and someone shouted out, "Put some snouts in it"?
Yeah, put some fags.
I'd like to see Brentford. It'd be different team coming up. It's always good, isn't it? So I like to
Mark, where's he gone? Mark Marney, where's he gone? Fulham away was very wet. I think that's the wettest I've ever been an away game. That walk from the station, pissing down the rain. It was freezing cold as well. I remember doing fan cams outside. If anyone goes back and watches fan cams from that day, Nicky's obviously doing the interviewing. I'm holding the camera, but the camera is like that because I'm so cold. Honestly, mate, it's the coldest I've ever been at a football game.
Every time I've been Fulham, it has been freezing cold.
Even in the summer, it's freezing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because it's right next to the Thames, isn't it? I mean, I live like my flat's there, the Thames is there, and like I had to shut the door earlier because the wind comes off it. It's so fucking cold. So
you should have swum up the river to get to it.
I could have got a boat to Fulham.
Oh yeah, all aboard the vessel.
I could. I might do that if they come up next year. I might get like a little steamboat down the Thames, or a jet ski, a speedboat like Uncle Albert.
Right. Let's have some more questions. Pick out some questions, boys.
It says, would you rather sign Eze or Ben Rama?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? If Brentford come up, I think we can say goodbye to signing any of their players because, as we said earlier, they're going to show loyalty to Brentford and they're going to obviously get a nice little pay rise, all the players, if they do come up. So, easy. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I've seen the bits and pieces of him. I know there's a lot of talk about him, but yeah, I mean, either one of them would be good signings for West Ham, but I think it depends on the player.
Isn't Eze more of a creative,
he's like a attacking winger sort of player, but he can play in the middle as well, and I think he can also play up front. So he could be that option that we're looking for. It could be like a sort of replacement for Lanzini.
Yeah, that's it. So that could be, but it said either would be very, very good signings. But if he can play in the middle, Eze, I'd lean towards him because Ben Rama, isn't he a winger? Is he just strictly?
I don't know what he is.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know much about either of them, so I can't really comment who I prefer.
Lee Davis, what do you think of Guy Demel?
Love Guy Demel.
Yeah, I love the old Demel. Good player. Good. He was a fan's favourite, wasn't he?
Yeah,
good. Go on, Scott. It's your turn. It's your birthday.
Oh, hang on.
Your birthday, you get to choose fourth.
He's gonna put his happy birthday Scott post up. Happy birthday, Scott, by the way.
I'll look at the questions. I'm looking for questions.
Scott, where's Graham?
Where's Graham? Well, we know where Graham is. Graham's at Graham's at a mate's tonight.
Oh,
and he's
don't fucking up your Where's Graham fucking post. Just pick a
You would choose that one, Scott, wouldn't you?
right. I'll put this one. Who's missed his most football out of you boys?
I'd say it'd be Ryan's, wouldn't it?
It's got to be, yeah.
Probably my missus. She's got a season ticket out, but yeah.
My missus used to be a season ticket holder over Orient, but she gave it up when she met me.
Yeah.
My missus hates football. Can't stand it. Worst thing ever.
Yeah, does anyone else hear this, right? Joe O'Brien. Atletico Madrid want to sign Roberto.
Yeah, sort of as a backup keeper, innit?
Apparently he's done well in Spain. Apparently he's had a decent time there.
I think he's had mixed games because one game I see that he's like man the match, and next game I see like people slagging him off saying he's
they get slapped like quite heavily, like 8 or 9-0 in one game.
There was a game where I think Barca beat them 5-0, but I reckon if it weren't for him, it would have been like 20-0.
Jeez.
But
bring him back.
I suppose, like when I think about Spain, I don't think about fantastic goalkeepers. Do you know what I mean? I think, great technical players, but they like the physicality of the league is what Roberto struggled with, man. I swear I'll never forget that Burnley game when there was people nudging into him, and he's fucking slapping them all over the place and falling over. And every time he got up, I swear on my life, his face. I'll never etch that face out of my mind because every time he got up, he looked like he wanted to cry. And I think it was on the Peter Crouch podcast because do you remember the Watford keeper, the one that played for Tottenham, Gomez?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying like there was times when he first come to Tottenham. I didn't rate him as a goalkeeper. He got better for Watford. He was a decent keeper, but he was never a good goalkeeper. And there was times for Tottenham, man, when he was nearly as bad as Roberto. And Peter Crouch was saying like there was times when he was, when he first came over here, that he'd be going up for crosses and that, and in the 60th minute he'd been hit so many times he started to cry because he just couldn't take it anymore. He was just scared like, why has it got to be like this and things like that. He was sad too, and he was like, he seen tears rolling down his eyes. He obviously got used to it in the end, but yeah, I mean that Burnley game especially, man, fuck's sake.
Steve said, "Are you guys going on holiday this summer?"
No.
Well, obviously, I was meant to go away in April, but obviously I couldn't because of lockdown. I've just booked to go. Well, I booked a couple of weeks ago to go Canary Islands in October, which now looks a bit. I don't know whether I'm going to be going to that. So I think if that don't happen, I'm just going to give up and wait till next year. I'm going to split me honeymoon into 2 parts. So I'm going to go away in October and then go away in April next year. So hopefully it happens, but I'm hoping I can get away because I need a fucking holiday.
I've booked to go Greece in May next year, and I'm worried whether that's going to go ahead the way things are going at the minute.
Am I looking like a floating head now? Because
I went over to the estate agents, the travel agents, to ask them, and they're just saying, yeah, they're taking it week by week, and hopefully, I know the Canary Islands are challenging it and all things like that, and I don't know. I'm just going to see where it happens. I'm all covered anyway, so I'm not going to lose nothing. So I just want to get away.
It's just a straight no from me. That's all I can say. No.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on going anywhere this summer, and luckily enough, I've had no worry about it.
But no,
I was going with Burnley.
This is an interesting question. Do you feel sorry for Newcastle fans after the failed takeover?
Nope.
The takeover, they withdrew.
It was funny because a couple of weeks ago, I see all the Newcastle, well, not all the Newcastle fans, but some Newcastle fans in the they wear it
the chic robe thing,
outfit, and we're going to sign Mbappe, we're going to sign Messi, we're going to sign Renewal or whoever. But yes, look, Newcastle, I feel, are similar to us. They always have bad luck, and nothing ever goes their way. I think that's why we're pretty similar with Newcastle.
I don't feel sorry for them though, because they wouldn't feel sorry for us. So
and the thing is, it's one of them things where that, like you said, they were very hyped and over it. But on one hand, it would have been interesting to see a different team up there. but it would have been another team buying everything. But also the fact was, like, these owners are like terrible people, like human rights, violations everywhere, like killing people, just unbelievable stuff, right? And Newcastle fans were so happy to overlook that and just go, you know, like that. And I don't know what you're talking about, and willing to sell their soul. Like, I would feel so uneasy about them buying West Ham. It would really, you know, because you're really selling your soul to these people who are so bad. And someone was saying,
as soon as they started pumping 500 million into the first team and we win the Premier League, I think you'd be dancing around the stadium then.
Yeah, but like just in the first, it's just like at what cost? But like, because how can they do like the bloody rainbow laces and all of that and have these owners?
Yeah, I know.
It's mad. But the fact that Newcastle fans were willing to overlook that doesn't make me feel sorry for them at all.
It's tough to feel sorry for them because
they just showed how desperate they wanted Ashley at the club.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I feel sorry for the fans that, you know, have to put up with Ashley, because we know what it's like to have owners that you don't sort of like. You know, you can see he's taking your club down the river and all that. But once again, I do understand it was an exciting time and all that. But they were talking like it was already done. You know, and they were talking about like, you know, oh look,
mate, they was already spending the money in their heads.
I mean, most of them was fucking like trying to hound Steve Bruce out. I thought Steve Bruce had done a fucking marvellous job this year.
I think he got more points than what Rafa did.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know, it's all about, I don't know what it is with Newcastle fans. Some of them are real grounded, like people that, you know, do realise that they're not, you know, they're not lucky. They've got bad ownership. It's all, but some of them think they're a fucking massive club. I mean, we've won a trophy since then.
Oh yeah, it's been about 50 odd years.
And for a club that's a single city club that have got, you know, a fucking huge stadium, and when you go up there, you can't knock their support. You know that, you know, their support is some of the best. They're all buying club shirts. You know, they're all fucking behind their team. They're all fucking Newcastle mad. But when this sort of Arabic takeover come along, they was talking like they was going to fucking win the league. Oh, you know, and it was always going to be in a balance because of their human rights issues. You know, I believe that one of the people involved in the takeover was the person that killed a journalist at an airport and chopped him up. He is
the prince of Saudi. Like, he's the top guy.
Yeah, it was always going to be looked at. And, you know, what I think's happened, personally, is, you know, they didn't realise it was such an they've probably seen, you know, the takeover of Wigan and stuff, and how that was handled, and there was no checks in that. The Premier League have started to check into them, and they thought, "Oh fuck this, we better duck out of here quickly." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be.
You know what the most pathetic thing is now they're trying to get a little hashtag started, going hashtag We Want Saudi, and they're trying to use this hashtag to try and get the takeover back on the cards with a little Twitter hashtag, and it's like, just give up, guys. I think
once them sort of people decide they ain't bothered, they ain't bothered.
That's it. They're going to look at another football club, mate.
Yeah.
They're going to look at another football club.
But Mike Ashley pockets the £17 million deposit that they paid, so he comes out £17 million richer.
That cunt always would fall into shit, come out and smelling the roses, wouldn't he?
It's just come up breaking news on Sky Sports News that Charlton are considering legal action against Sheffield Wednesday for the points deduction, because obviously they went down, didn't they? So that's what I'm saying. It opens a can of worms. I just don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get how a club can go in administration this close to the end of the season and not have the points deducted off of the end of the season total. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit different if they went into it like the day before the league kicked off, or they started the league and then went into administration. I understand that, but you know, surely you have a cut-off date with, you know, when the transfer market opens and shuts and things like that. Surely you should have a date, right? If you're in administration from this date forward, the deductions comes on the forthcoming season. If not, it's done on the previous season. Because, like you said, they've done that deliberately to stay in the league. No. There's no other reason why there was rumblings before they went. Weeks before, but when Wigan went into administration, that Sheffield United and Derby are going to follow suit, and as soon as the season ends, they've done it. Well, Sheffield Wednesday have done it. Sorry, you know, it's corrupt. The whole thing, the whole system's corrupt.
Matt Powell, where's he gone? Are you going to do a reaction to your predictions for this season? Yeah, we spoke about that last week, didn't we? We said we're going to
do that.
Hopefully get together and do it like we done last season when we sit there and watch it and have a laugh at ourselves, because I think we're definitely laughing at ourselves this season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I need to go and cook dinner before it gets too late and I get murdered, guys. As it's 9:10.
Yeah, go on, mate. We're wrapping up in a minute anyway, so
All right.
you can go and have your din-dins.
Yeah, well, pleasure as usual, guys. Scott, enjoy the rest of your birthday. Love the
Cheers,
Pokemon badge.
Before you go, Dave, you got to do come on your irons.
And I'll see you next time. And one thing left to say: come on, you irons.
See you later, mate.
Later, mate.
What formation would you play? See next season, and who plays where with all being fit and available?
I like to see us play two up top, as long as we get the right players in. But then when you play two up top, you lose a midfielder, didn't you? So it's whether Haller can play up top on his own, but get two people that can support him up top and help out in midfield as well. So it's I think the main thing for next season, as we've already said, is we need to get a little bit more creativity and pace into that midfield. Maybe Diangana could be the answer. You know, he's had a great season at West Brom, promoted. They're going to want to take him back. Whether it's going to be buying him outright or taking him back on another season-long loan, I don't know. But I definitely think getting another striker or some players to play around Haller would be our main option for next season.
I think with Souček and Rice, you've got two players there. If we want you to play a two up top, we can play the two in midfield, so like a 4-4-2 system. You know, because they're the way them two work together in that midfield, they're always communicating with each other and the players around them. That could work having a 4-4-2. I think we hopefully we've been in a position where we can change this 4-3 system, or as we've done this season, and then go to a 4-4-2 when need be. That's what our main aim should be, having a bit of fluidity with the formations and the players that are in it.
Yeah, we need to be able to adapt to each game and change it when we're losing.
I'm not a massive fan of having one set formation. I think it should be, and I think that's where a lot of managers' downfall comes, is that they can't adapt. They've got one way of playing, and you see the way we played this season. I mean, luckily enough, for the last sort of 6 games, we played opposition that was, very open and susceptible to the style we played. But, I think when you look at Burnley, when you look at Villa, I think it sort of like, maybe not Burnley. I think Burnley's a bad example because we created a lot of chances but Villa especially, it just sort of reiterates the fact that when people don't see us as, when they see us as a threat, we struggle to break down. When they're chucking people behind the ball, when there's 11 men defending for their lives, we struggle to break teams down, and that's been a lot of our problem, and that's why we've been losing games to any sort of physical team. We struggle because physicality is our game. And the thing is, we've got players to sort of counteract it. And that's where a lot of our criticisms come in. Like, our sort of attacking midfielders and chance creators, so to speak, for most of the season, until Bowen come in, they weren't doing that, that thing. And you can argue in the last sort of 6 games, our main threat was obviously Antonio and Bowen crossing the ball to Souček. And that was all we had. When we come up against Burnley, we sort of struggled with creating chances like that, and then we failed to take the chances.
Well, you say that we had a lot of chances against Burnley.
We had a lot of chances, but we just that seemed to be the only outlet. And Villa really reiterated how bad we are at breaking teams down when they don't want to play.
I think I didn't watch the Villa game. From what I heard, from what Graham told me, basically, we just weren't bothered. We were there because we had to be there. With the Burnley game, I think we created a lot of chances playing in different ways.
Their goalkeeper got man of the match.
Yeah. Maybe the Burnley game was a little bit of a...
I'm with you in the sense of the physicality side of it. We have struggled over the past probably 2 or 3 seasons with physical teams. You know, that's why we got bulldozed by Burnley a couple of times and teams like that. And even when you go back and look at Wimbledon, when we played Wimbledon in the League Cup and we went 1-0 down early on, and their two strikers were causing Ogbonna and Diop loads of problems. And we didn't get back into that game until they went down to 10 men. You know, the physicality has been our biggest downfall. And I put that down a lot to the management, because I don't think they've, one, brought the right players in to deal with physical sides, because we knew physical sides, you know, were around. We used to be a physical side, you know, when Allardyce was there.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't got them sort of players in our squad. No. We haven't got enough of them. But I think them sort of players are a dying breed now, Scott, because you can't really be physical on a football pitch no more, can you? And that's what I'm saying. Managers and players don't look at them types of players anymore. Like, you go back 10, 15 years ago, you could pick about 4 or 5 in our squad, in our team, that would get stuck in.
It's good to have a couple of them players, but when you do come up against teams like Burnley, who have got a lot of physical players, but also to have them physical players within the squad, that if things ain't going right when you want to play, you know, this style of play, you chuck them on because they can mix it up a bit. Like Antonio. You know, Antonio, if you want to play little tippy-tappy football, knocking it around, probably Antonio's not the best one for that. But if you want someone who's direct, physical, who's going to cause centre-half problems, you chuck Antonio on. So it's just
that's going back to management, isn't it? That's the difference between average managers and great managers. People like Sir Alex Ferguson knew how to change a game, to win a game. Jose Mourinho, when he first come over from Chelsea, you know, he was like that. Arsene Wenger used to be like that in these early days at Arsenal. It just shows the difference between great managers, and they know how to change a game and adapt to formation. And you look at every game is different. Every team you come up against, you know, if I said to you, Scott, we're playing Burnley next week, you know exactly how they're going to set up. Yeah. You know exactly how they're going to set up. But if I said to you, oh, we're playing like Liverpool, they could change their formation.
Yeah.
That's it. How we play. And that's the difficult thing with management sometimes. And that's why
I think that's the difference between. That's what, you know, I've said this before. That's what separates the world-class managers from the, you know, the good managers, even, is the fact that, you know, you look at someone like Ferguson, he could change the whole fucking thing in one stroke of a hand signal. You know, I've seen him do it at West Ham when he's been getting beat by West Ham. You know, he goes into the game, and yeah, you could argue that, you know, he's got a lot more at his disposal and all of that sort of thing. But he knew. I mean, I've seen him at West Ham getting fucking. They're getting absolutely fucking battered in the first half an hour, and he's made a couple of changes and fucking and even crazy things like putting Ryan Giggs at left back and all of that. There's a method to the madness, and they've come back and beat us 5-2 or 4-2 or whatever it was. You know, I think that's what separates the good managers, is the thinking on the spot, knowing that knowing what the players can do, like, you know, seeing their limitations and playing to the best of their ability, no matter what you ask them to do. And I think there's too many managers in the league that set up one way and they can't adapt, not let alone, you know.
See, and this is what I like with Moyes. You know, when we saw under Pellegrini played his system, right? And that, when you look back at the Newcastle game, Bruce come out and said, we saw how West Ham played. We isolated it. We knew how they were going to set up. We knew how they were going to play. We did A, B, and C, and we were 3-0 up before they even knew what was going on. Pellegrini set out his stall, and that's it. He didn't change it. At least with Moyes looked at other teams and, you know, seen the weaknesses. He done it with Chelsea. You go back to the Chelsea game. He knew from the scouting, from seeing Chelsea, they're set pieces. We've got physical players. We are gonna. That's when the long throw come back into play. You know, and that's what I want to see. I want to see our manager picking holes in other teams, even if they're
not only. I know you're saying about David Moyes as well, Scott. But have you noticed how many goals we've scored from corners since Kevin Nolan's been back at the club?
Yeah.
Because that's what he used to do when he played. He'd be on the goalkeeper. You notice how we set up at corners now. You always get one player on that goalkeeper, just like Kevin Nolan used to do. And one thing I do like about David Moyes as well is that you never see him sit down. He's always on that touchline, and he's always talking to the players, and, you know, he doesn't go and sit in the dugout, you know. And I know Moyes has got his haters and that, but as you said, I think he can adapt to every certain games. As you said with Chelsea, he knew that us being more physical than them would win us the game, and we did.
Yeah. And
it's a little bit of with Moyes as well. There was everyone talks about the fucking bench we had. At the last, because we was leaving like people like Haller and Anderson. He obviously just didn't fucking trust them. They wasn't his type of players. So, give him a little bit of time. He brought in Souček. He obviously everyone fancies Rice, but obviously fancied Rice. Obviously fancied Ogbonna because he played nearly every game, and Diop obviously don't rate Balbuena because he never used him or utilised him much after he came in.
He seems to rate Fornals as well.
Fornals, at first I don't think he did, but I think he saw a little bit of a player in him.
I think he wanted to show a bit of loyalty to Lanzini because he liked Lanzini last time, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe.
And then once he knew it weren't working for Lanzini, he put Fornals straight in the team.
But he didn't.
Right.
He obviously didn't fancy Lanzini. He obviously didn't fancy much of Wilshere. I don't know whether that's because of his injury or whatever. He obviously, don't rate Anderson. And I suppose it's a little bit tough to ask people to change when you're bringing on subs and stuff. Like people saying, like even I was saying this, his in-game management is fucking disgusting. Like the subs he's making was stupid. But if you don't trust them players and they're not the players that you brought to the club, and you're waiting to get to the end of the season to get rid of them because you don't trust what they're going to do when they're on the pitch, then it's going to be tough to make substitutions and things like that. But you've got to give him. If I say you've got to give him time to settle his own squad in, but fuck me, the way it's going at the minute, you don't even know whether he's going to be able to. Whether he's ever going to have to go again with the same shit.
Yeah. Do you think with Souček, right, whether he brought him in because he knew the type of player that he was, but also because he knew it would free up Declan Rice a bit more?
Yeah, and you say free up Declan Rice a bit more, Scott. It freed up Mark Noble a bit more, and Mark Noble was, what was he, third on the list for most chances created?
Yeah.
And you see, he played that different role, and it's just a shame Mark Noble's not like 5 years younger. You know what I mean? But he seemed to take to that role. But you're right in a way as well. Declan Rice does go forward, and you see that pattern is that when one goes forward, the two will drop off. So when Souček goes forward, Rice and Noble will drop off, and that's maybe the midfield three that we sort of needed. In the beginning of the season, we needed a Souček at the beginning of the season. We needed a Bowen as well. Because Bowen runs all day long. He puts in everything on that pitch. Once he adds goals to his game, he's going to be one hell of a player for us.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's all he's missed towards. He got his first goal, didn't he, before lockdown, and then lockdown happened, and all he's missed since the restart was goals. That's all he's lacked. Everything else about his play, his work rate, his defensive side. He's doing on the wing what we've been crying out for Anderson to do, help back, but he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Anderson is the sort of luxury player you want when you're in the top half and you're cruising the season and you've got no worries about relegation. Because
Anderson's a funny case because for me, it's just this season has just showed he just don't fancy it. He's just not.
I think there's a lot of players that have gone missing during this relegation battle. I think there has been,
I don't even know whether it's just the relegation battle.
Start of the season though, mate. I thought Anderson was playing really well.
Yeah, you look at the United game. Was it United game? He played well
United, Norwich. A couple of games spring to mind. He was playing quite well. Even on Moyes' first game when we beat Bournemouth 4-0, Anderson was brilliant that day.
That's the thing with Anderson. Anderson is a player that when everything's going well, you want him inside.
Yeah.
When the chips are down, you need him to fight. You don't want him.
Yeah. You want him to turn into a sort of John Moncur, don't you? Put the tackles in, but that's not his game. How many times since he's been at this club have we seen him go up for an header and turn his back? He's not up for that side of the game.
I have seen some very because people know I'm not an Anderson fan. Even last season when he was good at points last season. I think that the inconsistency does my head in because and I think once you see the best of Anderson, is going to make you even more frustrated because you know how good he is. He could be an absolute world beater. Games against Norwich this season, Newcastle away last season when he was just unplayable. Crystal Palace when he scored that goal that he bent into the, you know, there's games where but there's just not enough of them games.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
I do understand where, and this season has been even less. You know, last season it was every 1 in 5 he'd have a good game. This season it's been one in 15. You know, unfortunately, and yeah, it does come down to a little bit of, I suppose, when it's not going well, we just think not up for this. You know what I mean? And but I maybe he hasn't, like last season. I thought there would have been more games if there was a class left back behind him, because I thought a lot of the time last year was one of the points is he fucking didn't seem willing enough to cross the halfway line, and you wanted him 3/4 of the way up the pitch picking up the ball when he wouldn't cross the halfway line because he was so worried. So I do think there's
when Creswell went past him because he went down for.
But this is the thing. There's, you know, there are arguments for both cases. Maybe he just doesn't fit until we sign a left back that can do everything, or you know, a left back that's just better at doing left back things. Then we won't see the best of Anderson.
Well, maybe sort of like David Moyes will sort of work on that. If we're going to keep Anderson, maybe he might work on something during the summer that might see him play more of a free role, like a central role. Because
I think that's when he had his best games, because he becomes less burdened.
Well, Emma WHUFC has said, would you play him in a free role?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can see him sort of, because David Moyes has got a good track record of converting players, isn't he? So like Antonio and Arnautovic turning both into strikers. So you never know. Look, Anderson, there is a decent player there, but I just think when you're down the bottom of the league, you can't have players like. And I think he stands out more because he sort of was. Well, he's not our record signing now, but he was our record signing at the time. And they always stand out. Like if he was at Man City, they wouldn't even talk about him because they've got so many world-class players to come on and take. But at West Ham, because we spent so much money on him, it gets highlighted more when he has a bad game.
And the thing is, playing him in a free role, I'm sure, didn't we play him in a free role against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? He was sort of playing behind the striker, weren't he?
Yeah.
Behind Antonio. And
I think there was one game when he played as a striker.
Yeah, but the problem is if you're playing a player in a free role like that, you need to give the player the ball all the time, constantly. You've got to look to give that player the ball.
There's been times, Scott, where it looks like he don't want the ball, and that's the worrying thing.
That's the problem. He doesn't always want the ball. He doesn't always show for the ball. I've seen him go hiding in games and things like that. But to do that, you need to have the right players around him to do that. And for me, we've not got them players. And to be honest, I can't see us having them players next season.
Who was it we played when I remember him running down the wing? I think it was Arsenal at home when Declan Rice scored the winner. And Anderson just knocked it past their right back. And he had time to sort of pull his gloves up and like adjust himself and as he was running. And that's the Anderson we want to see, that was not afraid to take people on and do a little trick or a flick. We see it. Remember that? I met Scott because I think Nicky was away, wasn't he, for the Norwich game? I remember me and you sitting there, Scott. And remember when Anderson nutmegged about 3 of their players in a row, like, and we were embarrassed for the players. Like, we was thinking, Jesus Christ, like, what a game he had that day, and that's what we're missing.
Yeah. I remember Anderson's performance getting Man United away 18-19. He was there to rotate across the 3 positions behind striker, do that, and he'll flourish. This comment: if Anderson was 10 years younger, we'd be laughing. He'd be 15.
Yeah, it'd be funny seeing a 15-year-old in the first team, but no, it's
coming up against Harry Maguire at 15.
That's what I'm saying. Like Anderson's got me personally. I'd like to see us keep Anderson unless we get a ridiculous offer for him. That would, that's good for the club. I'd like to see us keep Anderson and just maybe give him one more season.
I think we've got the time for him. I don't think he's fit. In the current climate, we can afford to just go, let's give him one more year. I just don't think we can. It's just
it's again the current climate, the wages that he's on, the fact that we need to bring players in, just getting him off the road.
If no one bids for him, then he's stuck. He's with us. But if someone comes in with a £30 million bid or something, or I could even see in the club taking 25 million or something like that, then as long as that's invested back into another player, then so you're gonna have to, but I'd like to see us keep him.
It all depends, because like Lazio have got I think they got Champions League football. I think if I'm right. I know they was right up there, but they had a little bit of a fall off and they was third or fourth. But I think they got Champions League football. It all depends if they fancy him. They might want him back, and then you can get sort of the maximum money you're going to get. But you know, the thing is, he's not as hot. But this is what you have to think about these players. They're not fitting. He's not as hot. We could have probably got 50, 60 million for him if we'd have tried to sell him last season. If you know, a Man United or an Arsenal or someone wanted him, we probably could have got that this season. You know, we're talking about taking 25. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have even entertained 60 million. Next season, if he had another bad season, you look at 10. And I don't think assets like him can afford to, you know, let their value diminish. Because if he's so hell-bent on not being here, then it's one of them things. He's just, I don't think he's a player financially you can gamble with and just say, "Oh, we'll keep him." But as you say, if no one comes in for him, he's got to stay, and he's got.
Hammer One's just said as well about Jack Wilshere. For me, no one's going to sign Jack Wilshere. Who? He's fine. What I was going to say about Jack Wilshere is that no one's going to sign Jack Wilshere. So, and there's no point in releasing him. So, I would. He's got another year left on his contract. Just see it out. You know what I mean? So
I've never, but people saying release him and all. I've never seen the point. If he's under contract and he's got to be paid off,
you might as well keep him because
they'll do a job somewhere.
Yeah. Either way, he's gonna get. You know, we've got to get rid of him and pay him up, or we might as well just keep him and pay his wages. So.
Unless there's a player coming into Nicky's spot, then fair enough. But
if you shoot squad spaces, then obviously. But
what about this one? What about this one? Where is it? Julian Stanislas back from Bournemouth to West Ham.
He's had a good career, the kid. He's getting on a bit now because he was
one player that I was actually gutted when he left West Ham. To be fair. I liked
him and I like the other kid as well, but he never went on to do much in football. Zavon Hines. I thought them two were going to be...
Didn't he have a dodgy knee?
I think he did, yeah.
He retired early, didn't he?
Yeah, he ended up going down the leagues, I think.
Was he the one? Was Hines the player that could have been an Olympic sprinter? And he had to choose one of the two?
I think that might have been Stanislas.
I knew, one of them, he could either have been a Olympic sprinter or play football.
So Stanislas is 30 now, anyway, isn't he? So
he's like, as I said, he was a youngster. Last time I remember him playing for West Ham was like 09.
Crazy to think he's 30. Like I remember when he first broke onto the scene, and he's like what 18, 19.
He's 27. He's definitely not 27. Definitely not.
He's 30. He's 30, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely not 27 because he was late teens and he was playing for us 10 years ago. You know. But I don't know.
Cross Hammers is watching tonight. Do you feel Diangana will slot in? Because Dan's not here, we'll say thank you for our DVDs, Nick. Love you, mate. We should have all been out on a piss now, Nick.
Yeah.
We should have all been getting ready for your wedding tomorrow, mate.
Gutted, mate. Gutted, that is.
Roll on March. It'll be better in March. All good things happen in March. It's my birthday as well, so... What more can you want? Happy birthday, Scott.
I think Diangana will slot straight in, mate. To be honest, I can't. The way what we've seen of him in, we haven't watched him live for West Brom. The highlights we've seen the way he plays for West Brom, what we know of the player from when his time playing for us previously.
He's going to come back twice the player he was.
Yeah,
he's going to come back twice the player he was when we let him go because that championship would have toughened him up.
Yeah,
and he had some tough games, but he's looked so comfortable, and when he's on the ball, I mean, I've seen, as I said, I've not watched it, but I've watched highlights of him at West Brom, and some of the things he's done on the ball, I think to myself, he should be in the West Ham first team now doing that. So let's just hope that he does get a chance at West Ham, and I think he will.
He was doing things for West Brom that we were expecting Anderson to do for us this season.
Yeah, exactly. We should have sent them Anderson on loan, and we should have kept Diangana. That's what happens in football, you know what I mean? We could have kept Diangana, and he couldn't have not got a chance. So the best thing was to loan him out.
This could be the key in it, though. Does he want to stay? That could
Yeah,
be the real.
I think he would if he's given if he knows he's going to get a chance in the first team. I think he would. I think he would want to stay at West Ham. No disrespect to West Brom, but West Ham are a bigger club, you know. And I know that
it's not only that, right? He's our player at the end of the day.
Yeah,
he went on loan to break his way into the team.
And I think he'd, as long as he knows he's going to get a chance at West Ham, I don't want him to sort of have a full pre-season. It starts the season, he doesn't get a look in, because then he'll probably be thinking, well, I should have just stayed at West Brom, or I should have forced to move somewhere else. But yeah, I'd like to say he'd get a chance, and he's done wonders at West Brom, so he should be doing that in our first team.
Right, just because it's tomorrow and it's topical, we'll have this one. I know it's not West Ham, but we'll finish with this one. Prediction tomorrow.
I'm going to go for 2-1 Chelsea.
Scott?
As much as it pains you to say it, I'm saying 3-2 Chelsea.
Why did it pain you to say it?
Because I can't stand Chelsea.
Do you know what? I think Arsenal are going to win. I think Arsenal are going to win 3-2. I just think the only thing is I think Aubameyang's on fire, and fucking Chelsea's defence, man. I think I'd score a goal, as I was saying.
But I could say the same. Giroud's on fire, and Arsenal defence.
Same.
It'll probably be about 6-6 all.
Imagine him scoring the winner, though, old Giroud.
He scored it last year, didn't he, in the Europa final?
Yeah, well, that's what I was just about to say. That Arsenal might have Baku on their minds, and that might, it might come into the game, and they might be nervous. And Chelsea are obviously going to go there, and I think it's going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be one of them boring. You watch now; it's going to be fucking 0-0. I don't think it's going to be one of them boring FA Cup finals. I think it's going to be two London teams going for it. And Arsenal have got they've got a great record. They've won the FA Cup the most times. This is their 21st FA Cup final. It's amazing that. But I just think, I don't know. I think Chelsea might edge it tomorrow. Chelsea might edge it. I want Arsenal to win, but I think Chelsea might edge it.
You'd be watching it.
Yeah, well, I'm at a family barbecue tomorrow, so yeah, they'll hopefully have the telly on, because it's a 5:00 kickoff. So by that time, I should be a bit tanked up. So yeah, no, I'll watch it one way or the other. If not, I'll have my phone out.
I'll probably watch it. I'll more than likely watch it. So
thank you so much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. We have got content coming up next week, so keep in contact with that. If you ain't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and Snapchat and all of that sort of thing. If you can do that, we're West Ham Fan TV across everything. Check out the Patreon and the t-shirts and links in the description down below. One thing left to say.
I've got one on tonight, Nick. Look.
Yeah, we've all got one.
Minus the badge. Here it is. Minus the badge.
One thing left to say.
Come on, you on. Come on, you on. Happy birthday, Scott.